What happens in a pre-construction meeting? I am so stoked about this. Most of the industry hates pre-construction meetings, but I love them. The best way to prevent failures on a project site that, if done well, could make your life so easy. Wouldn't you want that? That's the pre-construction meeting. That's the preparatory meeting. That's what this can do for you if done right. And I think it's fun to dig into it. It's the softwares and the meeting minutes and the old stale ways of doing it and the old mindsets that make it boring. Doing it right is exciting and amazing. So if you want to learn about that, stay with me on this video. I'm so freaking stoked. So a pre-construction meeting, there's typically two types. One is there's one pre-construction meeting before the whole project, and you'll either have it with the owner or the inspector or everybody together. That's going to set the job off right. But what I'm talking about is the pre-construction meetings before every trade starts. So you could kind of look at it like the GC gets a pre-con, but every trade gets a pre-con. Every contractor gets a pre-construction or a preparatory meeting. And I am in love with this concept. The way I do it is once the contract is executed, 3 weeks after, we do a pre-mobilization meeting, phone call, or email, which is, hey trade, we love you. Here are the things that we need by the pre-con meeting, by the preparatory meeting. Once this hits, we need submittals, your quality plan, safety plan, emergency contact numbers, insurance, whatever it all is, right? I need this by here, okay? So here is the pre-con meeting or the preparatory meeting. I'm just going to call it pre-con meeting from here on out. In that meeting, you gather the foreman and the superintendent for the trade partner. And you're not being mean, but you're like, have you reviewed the plans and specs? And if they're like, no, I haven't even seen this job. You're like, okay, love you. Let's go ahead and schedule it for next week. I need you in this meeting having been prepared. But most of the time, if you queue them up right and you call them, they'll come prepared. Yep, I read the plans and the specs. And you're like, okay, we're gonna go through the plans, the specs, the requirements, the code complaints, talk about the owner's top 10. We're gonna look at the schedule, the logistics. We're gonna look at the quality standards. And the whole time, you're not taking boring meeting minutes and plugging them in some software that will never get referenced again. Real quick rant here. Our industry is top of head deep smothering itself in legal fear. I have to have daily reports for a court case. I have to have CPM for a court case. I have to pin all the layout on the surveyor for a court case. I have to keep boring meeting minutes in my PM software for a court case. Nobody has ever proven that as a fact. And even though most cases go into arbitration where you're like working it out with specialists, it's really just who's scarier, and it's all a waste of time. Lawyers in the United States have all of us scared, and it's holding us back. No more boring meeting minutes. Yes, you can have meeting minutes. AI can do that. Forget about it. We don't need that. During the meeting, we're pulling any relevant information into a single visual in that pre-con that the crew is going to use to install. And that's what we're going to use to inspect and do follow-up inspections and final inspections in a visual format that's respectful to the trades. And that's expectations, not micromanagement. That's how I do pre-construction meetings 3 weeks ahead. And here's the concept that you're going to love. Do not start the work until you have full kit to finish it. That's the key to construction. We want to do well. Don't start anything until you know you can finish, until you know you have the information. And because you know that you have to start and you're not just going to delay everything, that means you have to get out ahead for preparation. That's the mindset. So now I'm going to answer a couple of questions here with pre-con meetings that you're going to love, I think. What exactly gets discussed in the pre-con meeting? I'm going to tell you right now. Expectations, and it should be written down on that visual I talked about. Quality is simple. What is expected? Will the crew do it? Safety is simple. What is expected? Will the crew do it? And between those two is clear visual communication. That is what gets discussed. Who runs the meeting and who needs to be there? The project engineer, assistant super, assistant PM, project manager, or super leads that meeting. Who needs to be there? Anyone who has a stake in understanding the clarity and anyone who has an expectation that needs to be communicated. Question number 3, how are permits, submittals, long lead procurement handled in these meetings? 100%, they're discussed. We are discussing procurement, whether the supply chain is on track and when they will be received. We are talking about receiving that final submittal and being able to use it for work. We are talking about permits and confirming that they will be available by the time the work is done. We're talking about anything that's relevant to the trade starting. Question 4, what should I speak up about if I'm new to the role? I'm just going to tell you right now. Anything that you're unclear about. This meeting is about clarity. Anything that you're worried about, anything that you're unclear about, anything that's a big risk. Let me give you a little hint. The other day, it just escaped my mind. I can't remember what the actual acronym was, but somebody said an acronym. And I was like, what is that acronym? I've been in construction around 32 years. I started when I was 11 and then like full-time in any break at 13. And then immediately like at 17, I'm like full-time tested early out of high school. So like I'm in it, right? And after all these years, after 32 years, I still don't know what things mean. And I'm like, hey, what does that mean? And they're like, I should have clarified that. And it's never a hit on my ego. It's never embarrassing. Ask, and if you're like, that's a stupid question, ask it. No, that's really stupid, ask it. No, Jason doesn't know, that's really stupid, ask it. Every time I do it, 2 or 3 other people are like, oh, I'm glad you asked that question. I didn't know what that meant either. That person's been in construction 50 years. Ask the question. And last question, how is this different from the weekly or daily safety meeting or site meetings? This pre-con meeting is to get the trade partners started and onboarded onto the site. All other meetings are a revolving cadence to keep everybody up to date in the same culture. I love this topic. If you have any more questions, please reach out to me in the comments below. I will be more than happy to respond. I'm so excited. I wish 100% of people did these meetings. In the industry now, probably only 5% of all contractors do this well, and it's a shame. This will fix most of what's wrong with construction, and we could do it tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.